Excellent. All right, we are live.
He doesn't scroll up.
There you go. Welcome. What's up, guys? Your Coach Borino with you on this lovely Tuesday. God, it's nice here in DC. Lovely day. It's like 72 outside. Spring is here. Beautiful. How are you, everybody? All right, so the audio is good, video is good. Welcome, everybody. My good man, Nick, is with us, and Tristan is going to join us. His twin brother is going to join us for this live broadcast to you guys. Good to have you. We're going to have a good time. I asked Nick to chat with me because spring market is upon us. It's going to be here before you know it, and this man really knows what he's talking about. You know, as I always say, learn the stuff from people who walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And what's cool about Nick and Tristan, and the reason I like these guys very much and love working with them, is because not only do they walk the walk, they're using cutting edge stuff, they're willing to share it with you, they're not hoarding, they're not holding back, but they're also willing and able to teach you this stuff. It's not just a matter of vomiting a lot of stuff on you, but they are able to break it down so it's easy to understand and easy to follow. I want you to walk away today with some practical tools and tips you can implement in your business right now. So with that, let me introduce, I mean, they don't really need much introduction. They're the rock stars who run the biggest, most influential, and my second favorite group here on Facebook, Top Codes Agents. I had a chance.
What's your first favorite?
What's that?
Tristan says he's on, so bring him up on the panelist there when you get a second.
Oh, he's raising his hand, so.
He's raising his hand. What's your first favorite group, Borino?
My first favorite group is my rock stars, of course. Those are
I know. Dude, Rockstars is kicking butt.
Rockstars is good. Hey, Tristan, turn your audio on, my man. Here we go. You're good. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
All right. Welcome. Good to have you guys. I know you guys are busy. You've been traveling a lot. You went to the Keller Williams family reunion. You've been a lot of speaking, a lot of stuff going on. Plus, you have a family, you have a life, and a big business to run. You both run a team. You're successful team leaders and CEOs of your little company. So thanks for joining us here today. We're going to have a good time. The way we're going to do this is I'm really curious. What are you using right now? There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of get leads from here. Use this tool. Do this. Do that. And none of that is free. So it can get pretty overwhelming and pretty confusing. What is working right now for you guys? I want to know what's working. How are you getting leads? Do you use any systems to follow up with them? What tools do you recommend? Now, I know some of them you are affiliated with, some of them you're not. So it's not going to be based on who's cutting you a check, but what's really working for you right now. So I appreciate you guys being here today. We'll have a good time.
So the secret is, Borino, nothing's working. We're not following up with anyone, and there's no business whatsoever. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, it looks like we lost Tristan there, but he'll come back. So yeah, I'm just kidding. Of course, a lot of things are working, and we are following up. You know, I'm really heavy on Realtor.com and Facebook ads, and we're doing some farming with SmartZip. And we've got agentology following up with our leads to make sure that we're getting back to them on a timely, like when they come in, make sure we're getting back to them, you know, quickly so they don't move on to the next agent. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, you know, a lot of things that Tristan and I talk about really is response time. And, you know, the average agent, about 50% of online leads never even get a single response, right? I mean, that's a statistic. You know, there's lots of different statistics, but that one specifically from HubSpot, which is a big CRM. But that one is huge because it means that like people aren't following up with leads, and so they're getting frustrated. And so, you know, I always say that, and it's an unpopular thought, like the Zillows and the Realtor.coms are there because of the agent. Like the agent, you know, didn't give the consumer what they wanted. They weren't getting back to them in a quick enough fashion, and people want information and it wasn't available to them. So, you know, so now we have to kind of switch our mindset a little bit. Like we're in an era of, you know, everything is fast paced. Like we want our food now. We want our cab in 5 minutes with our phones. We want someone to call us back in under 2 minutes when we want to get into a property like right now. And so when 78% of people choose to work with the very first agent that gets in front of them, all you have to do is pick up that phone or have systems in place to respond to them in a timely fashion. Like, it's not that hard to do, right? I know how frustrated I get when I submit information on a specific product and no one calls me back. It's frustrating. And so there's so many systems right now that automate your lead follow-up, and it's not really that expensive, and you need to be doing it.
Yeah, I like what you said, because I do agree. If there was no demand from the consumer side for Zillows and Redfins and Realtor.com and any of these things, they would not be around. They're around because there is a chunk of the consumer, the population, who says, yes, I want quick, I want instant, I want all the information, and I want it now. Cool. So, Tristan, what do you use right now to get your leads? What's working for you right now? How do you generate the leads that are either potential buyers or sellers that you later think you're going to convert into sales and listings? What's working?
Well, two things. We combine a little bit of the old school with the new school. And believe it or not, expired still work quite well in my area. One of the ways we broke into luxury, and I don't think I've told this story a lot, which is we targeted all the expired listings in a certain area. And I said, you know what? I want to break into luxury. And I know that in the luxury world, homes at that price expire quite often. Yeah. And they go through realtors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And if I can just be one of those 5 realtors to start with, I can get my name out there and start promoting that, hey, look at the listing I took, even though I may not have sold it. Yeah. So that's one way. What I've done through time now, as we've grown, is now I've added stuff like send out cards through the automation process. I've added Facebook so that we can retarget a lot of these people. And in the farm that I have, there's a presence because, you know, I use Facebook to show that I'm kind of like everywhere, just to that farm. So that's one way that we've done it as well. So for me, Facebook has been really integral for me to grow and not spend so much money like I used to.
Facebook, like nurturing the sphere that you already have, or are you talking about running ads to people you don't know yet?
Both. I do both. Specifically to my area where I'm farming. Let's say I have a farm, like right now I have a farm of, it's about 2,800. That's how big it is. And through SmartZip and through the regular mailing that we're doing, we're targeting probably only the top 20% because that's how SmartZip works, right? But on Facebook, I'm targeting everybody in that farm because I can. It's only like pennies.
Yeah.
Right. So they're starting to see my ads.
What kind of ads do you run to that farm?
So what we've noticed is at any price point, people want to trust you and get to know you. That's how they'll get to work with you. And so what we're running are ads that show some of our previous activity and also some of our reviews. Oh. Whether we don't have a lot of reviews on Yelp. We've only got like 11 or 12. But we do have quite a bit on Zillow, and that's a free part of Zillow, so we use that a lot. We say, hey, look, this is how many reviews we have here, and we boost them out.
Gotcha. Nick, how about you? Do you run any Facebook ads right now?
Yeah, so you want to hear a funny story? So I do ads for listings and specific price points in my neighborhood, but I do a lot of brand building and brand awareness. So I do a lot of videos. And I do I do a lot of blogs. I obviously don't write these blogs. Don't tell anybody. But they're branded. There's more leverage, BORINO. They're branded to me. So I use Keeping Current Matters, which is a cool platform. It's super cheap. It's like $25 a month, and they like write blogs for you, and they're branded to you. Obviously, you should familiarize yourself with them in case someone asks you about it. But
so you know what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. And so they know. So I do that. I do live videos with market information. I do local community videos. And so I've been staying really consistent with those and getting organic recognition and organic leads. And so it's interesting because I've been getting recognized in my town. And so yesterday I was picking up my cat from the vet, and the receptionist at the vet's office recognized me from my videos that she's seen in her newsfeed. She's like, "Oh, you're that realtor that does the videos, and you go into restaurants and you like do videos about them." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And I thought it was so cool. That's actually happened a few times over the last several months. So,
That's cool.
That
yeah,
is
so
very
you just
cool.
gotta stay consistent with stuff, and people get to know you and build trust. And she felt like really open just to talking. And obviously I didn't hard sell her and say, if you want to buy a house, but now she knows, like, I bring my cat to her vet, right? So like when she thinks realtor, she's gonna think me, because my cat's a patient and I go periodically, and that stuff comes together. So one time we did a video for a local children's boutique, and we sponsored it on Facebook. And then my kid went to the dentist for the first time, and the dentist asked my wife, she's like, "Hey, I saw your video about Apple Village. Can you guys do one of those videos for me?" Like, we had never met this dentist before, but she knew us from the video. So you start making these connections in your town, and you start building trust within the community, and you just stay consistent with whatever you're doing. People are going to just kind of flock to you in that way.
Yeah, very cool. Where do you post these videos? How do you distribute them to your audience?
So I put them on Facebook, and I sponsor them to very specific zip codes that I know really well and that I want to be seen in. So my immediate area, and then a couple towns like around. So I'm really purposeful with the people that I target. And I also target people so I target homeowners in the area, and then I target renters in like New York City to show them what is here. Because they're like in their early 30s. They want to know that there's cool things to do. And so I make sure that I target them so they know when they move here, oh, that bookstore looks cool. Oh, that restaurant looks cool. Oh, that little shop looks cool. And so I want to put myself in front of them, so when they move here, they think of me like, that guy Nick showed us this restaurant on his video. That's kind of the idea.
Perfect. Question for both of you guys. Let's say I'm an agent, whether new or experienced, but I don't do a whole lot of this new techie stuff. I don't know exactly how Zip works, and I'm not really familiar with much of this new, let's call it new. It's not exactly new, but the modern way of generating business and following up. I don't have a huge budget, and I don't have a huge staff to run all this. So some of it I have to learn myself and master it myself.
Can I tell you something before you go on?
Please.
I spend $100 a month on my brand awareness ads on Facebook.
Wow.
That's it. Like blogs and videos. And it's so cheap, dude. I do like $25 a week to the same farm. And if you're putting content out there that they like, you're going to get engagement. And the more engagement you get, the further that money's going to take you. Like, it's not that much.
That's a good point. So where would you suggest I start? What are the tools I should pick up? And how much money do you think I should put aside for this?
Well, let me answer someone's
so that
question.
I see some results.
Wait, Jim, hold on. Answer Jim's question. He said, WTF, $100? I spend $100 a month on the brand awareness. I spend more on the lead generation. So let me just clear that up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So what do you suggest? Where do I start? Which are the tools I should sign up for and learn? Of course, Facebook. That's a no-brainer.
Sign up for Facebook, everyone.
I'm master the business, the ad manager. Figure out how the ad manager works so you understand how to select the geographical farm, for example.
Borino,
Facebook has that new dynamic system now where you can test different images and different headlines, which we've been testing. It works really well, by the way.
Brand new agent, and I'm telling you this from personal experience, from having, hiring a lot of agents on the team and seeing where they grow the quickest into actually becoming successful. And it's focusing on your sphere by mailing them things or by talking to them on the phone and texting them, and also focusing on your sphere on Facebook through perception of having as much activity as our team has. So if so-and-so on the team gets a listing, then the whole team can use it, like if it's their listing. I have one agent on the team who recently joined, and that perception has got her so many more deals because she keeps on posting it to Facebook. right? She keeps on saying, hey, look, we got another listing. We just sold this listing. We got another one. And people are like, wow, you're so busy. The perception is that she's doing it. So I think combining that with calling them, texting them, and putting it up on social media is a really strong way to start for a new agent that has no money.
Yeah.
Also, if you're a new agent, in a market center like mine, I have 250 agents in my market center. If you're a new agent, and I still do this too, because sometimes my team doesn't have enough listings to promote. I'll just put it out there. I'll ask agents in my office, hey, do you mind if I promote your listing? Like, I'll give you credit and I'll say listing agent, and then I'll put the person's name. I go, do you mind if I build an ad? Because they know that I'm good at Facebook, and I'm like, do you mind if I take your listing? I go, I'm not going to claim it as mine. I'll give you all the credit, but I'll hopefully, sell it with the buyer leads. And they're like, totally. Like, ask agents in your market center, if you're not on a team or if you don't have listings, just ask if you can use them and post them. And for the most part, they'll say yes, because why not,
They want to get the listing sold, and they want
Of course. We're working together. We have one goal, all of us. So
of course, yeah. Do any of you guys use... Sorry, go ahead.
Stelia has a question here on Facebook on Rockstars. Should I post that then to my personal page or just my business page? Stella, post to your personal page that you have this going on, this over here. Just make sure there are two things that I want you to do, though. If you're a newer agent or you don't have a lot of businesses, you have a set or a group of friends on Facebook, and they're not seeing your posts or comments or anything unless you're doing this routinely. So go through your friends. If you've got 500 or 1,000, go through them, comment like a week straight routinely. And then when you post, they'll start seeing your posts. Because if you don't, the algorithm doesn't work that way. So note that. That's why some people get more likes than others. And definitely on your personal page, one business page to 4 fun posts. I'm sorry, one business post to 4 fun posts. That's what I would do.
What's a fun post? Like
yesterday, dude, you put your little kitty cat on your chest.
Oh, little kitty cat.
Nick is a cat lady now, yeah.
Nick's a cat lady. Right? That was good. I love that.
I'm an old cat lady now.
You're done, dude. You're done. You can quit real estate now.
He wants to be on TV. He wants to be on the webinar. Come here.
So that's a fun post. Something that shows a little side of you that people want to know. Yeah, there you go.
Look at my kitty. Look at my kitty.
I'm not going to do any pussy jokes, I promise.
None allowed.
This is
awesome. Hey, Tristan, question for you here from, let's see, who was it? How did you pick your farm? How did you select it? How did you go about it?
That's a great question. Nick and I teach this thing called gardening instead, and we do have 7 steps to it. I'll highlight them kind of like really quick here. Number 1 is we select our farm. Step number 1, don't choose a big farm. We usually start with a small farm, about 500 people or less. That's how we start. And from the 500, make sure that it fits your lifestyle, meaning make sure that it's on your way to work. Make sure that it's around your neighborhood. Don't choose something that you're never going to get to because you're just going to fail. Because it's choosing a farm and doing it consistently is tough. Step number 2, study your farm. Make sure that you know solds, expireds, withdrawals, canceled. Know your farm really well, right? Who lives there, who doesn't, what the parks are, all that. Step number 3, study your competition. I think we don't do that enough, right? Find the number 1, 2, and 3 agent. Find out how many homes they list. Find out where their strengths are, right? That's important. Number four, create valuable content. Like Nick does a great job creating that valuable content and then put it out there. Number 5, engage with your audience through postcards, through newsletters, through Facebook. That's super important. And number 6 is automate it, because guess what? We're not always going to be able to stay consistent. So try to automate it as much as you can. If you're sending out postcards, use a company that does this, right? If you can't door knock consistently, maybe have a team member who can do this, or hire a company that can at least drop off a mailer in person. And number 7 is we reanalyze every 6 months. Is our branding doing well? Is our message correct? is our farm too small or is it too big? Yeah, so that's how we choose our farm there.
Excellent. I have a follow-up question for you from Dominique. Tristan, I see you mention mailing to your sphere. What kind of things would you send them? Just handwritten note or market update? Also with farming, how often are you mailing to them? Good question, Dominique.
Yeah, to my sphere, I'm mailing to them more like little notes. Thank you. Hey, Happy New Year type thing. Really things that can connect me a little deeper to them. So I don't have a set piece that goes out to them like every month or every 2 months. It's more like 4 times a year we send out something every quarter. And it usually has something to do with a holiday or a season, right? That's what we do with our personal sphere. For our farm, we have a piece that goes out every 3 weeks.
Cool.
Hey, do you mind if I show real quick, like a quick video so people know the kind of stuff I do?
Yeah,
Yes, please. That would be awesome.
Okay. And by the way, so I made this video. So I do professional ones too, but listen, sometimes being raw with your iPhone, you relate a lot more to your audience, right? So like my audience is, 30 somethings, making probably about 100,000 a year, moving to the suburbs. Like Tristan's audience in Malibu, professionally polished videos might be more attractive to them, wouldn't you say, Tristan? The more luxury.
It's a hit or miss, though.
Okay.
I think with the older people, older age-wise, the polished one. Younger generation, though, is more like just on the go, on the fly.
So let me show what I did. This kind of stuff that I'm doing. Hold on. I think, here we go. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, now it started sharing.
It's loading. There it is.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Nick with Nick Baldwin and Associates at Keller Williams, and I'm with Levi, and it's really rainy here in Montclair. We're gonna go doing dishes, right buddy? We got our coffee and our chocolate milk, and we're gonna go do some dishes. Okay, let's go. Alright. This is perfect for Halloween, right?
Yeah. I'm just
I love that.
That's awesome.
I'm going to paint it spooky.
You're gonna paint it spooky?
Yeah.
Alright.
That was pretty cool, dude.
And by the way, oh, wait a minute. How do you get out of here? Stop. How do you stop sharing the screen? There we go.
Button.
I got it.
There you go.
Okay. So, can you guys see me?
Nope.
Not yet, bud.
Soon? Maybe? Oh. How about now?
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
There
There
we
we
go.
go. Hey, Mr.
So, like, when I do these videos, I tag the local businesses, right? So, check this out. So, I did this video, and then you have to go back like a week later and pick up your dishes because they, like, put it in, like, a oven and they, with the heat and stuff.
Yeah.
So, the paint melts in or whatever. I go back a week later to pick up the dishes, and they're like, hey! And they're like, cool video! And so, like, you make this connection with the business, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like my, and I do that with my iPhone with an app called Cameo, and it's a lot of fun, super
Very cool.
easy.
And it costs $0.
Zero money, dude. Zero money.
And you got what, 700 views? I saw that, something like that.
That one had 700 views. That actually had more because I boosted it. I promoted it in Ads Manager, so I had a few thousand like on the ad itself. But yeah, dude, it goes far. It's really fun, and people love it.
Very cool. Nick, Tristan, how do you use video? Do you use video? Do you do videos?
I do. I use this thing right here.
Oh, that's
I
an
carry
80.
this. I carry this thing with me everywhere,
Yeah.
and I do that. Your afternoon tea, and now my clients are going, "Oh wow! You know what? That's what you use for your afternoon tea." So now my clients are seeing it too. which
That's
is
so
kinda
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And do you promote it on Facebook? Same thing. Do you have a YouTube? I know you started a YouTube channel, right? The
I
vlogging
did.
channel?
I shifted your afternoon tea to Facebook. So I created a Facebook page under TV show. Sorry. I created a Facebook page under TV show, and then I just run it through there, and I target a specific audience. Obviously, I target real estate agents in specific cities, and then I target my neighborhood so that everyone here can see it as well.
Excellent. Well, Brian says, awesome stuff, Nick and Tristan. Sarah really enjoys it. Stella loves it.
Do you want to see a quick snippet of like a professional one we did?
Why not? Yes, please.
Real quick. I won't show you the whole thing, but just real quick. Just so you can kind of get an idea
Yeah,
of
please.
the difference, right? So this is a professional one. Can you see it yet?
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm Nick Baldwin from Nick Baldwin and Associates at Keller Williams NJ Metro Group.
Mr. Dapper, look at that.
And one of the reasons I love to live and work in Montclair is because it is filled with hundreds of local businesses. And we want to show you some of our favorites. So please come along with us while we introduce you to Apple Village.
Apple Village is a design-centric destination for babies and children. We carry a large variety of unique and funky baby gifts, room decor, and furniture. We can help you design your home, your nursery, or your playroom, or your small business. We've helped other local businesses such as Montclair Pediatric Dental Care and Little Nest Portraits.
I like to shop at Apple Village because not only is the store beautiful, but she always has new inventory and new things coming in that are different that I can't find anywhere else. And I know how much I love getting gifts from Apple Village.
You get
Question
the idea.
for you.
So, yeah.
Do you pay for the production of the video, or does the business?
100%. We cover the entire production, and then we post it on our websites and our social media, and in our email newsletters, and then they do the same on their end. So while we're paying for it, they're doing their promotion on their end as well. So it's a win-win. And so it's just really another way to get to help other businesses grow, and in turn, it's going to help you grow as well. So,
and besides, you're developing a relationship with
on someone else
and people who work there in the first place.
I'm sorry?
You're also developing a relationship with the people who work in that business as well.
Yeah, so that the owner of that store is actually a friend of ours. So we started off with her, but it's been really good. So we're going to be doing a bunch more of that this year for sure.
That is awesome. All right, so we talked about generating leads, and you have all these cool systems and all these, some old-fashioned and some cutting-edge stuff that kind of fuses together to what works for you. Then what? Once you start having these leads come in, here's a good question. What CRM do you use?
Yeah. Had to go with those.
What is the process afterwards?
So I'm actually using using Follow Up Boss because we use Ylopo, which is for our Facebook ads, and that's the CRM on the back end of Ylopo. So I just have my Realtor.com leads going into Follow Up Boss to the Ylopo system, which is awesome because what Ylopo also does is helps you retarget. So any Realtor.com leads or any other leads that you get from any other online source, it'll retarget them on Facebook for you. So it's pretty cool. So that's
Tristan, what's your process once you start getting these leads in? How do you handle them?
All right, so
we have the same process actually.
Yeah, we pretty much have the same process.
Same thing.
We have as soon as the lead comes through Facebook or anywhere, they dump into Follow Up Boss, and we have Agentology reach out to them. They're automatically texted through Agent Legend, and then one of our ISAs calls them as well.
Okay.
That's if they're coming in through Facebook. But we also have Google pay-per-click through Commissions Inc. as well. So
gotcha.
Those are our two avenues for online leads.
Let's talk about the ISA because a couple of people had questions about that. Are they actually in-house within your office or are they off-site?
Mine is I have one in-house. His name is Jacob, and he's been with me for about 6 years. So he is in-house. And then I have one that's with my outdesk that I've had for 3.5 years. She's really good. She helps a lot with the follow-up, with the nurture side, with the online leads. And then if you're using Agentology like we are as well, Agentology, they're all based in San Diego, and they're all American based, I guess.
Yeah, and just so you know, I mean, as running lab coat agents, you know, we do have relationships with these vendors, but I just want you to know that, you know, we only talk about vendors that actually work for us. So you'll never see us promoting a vendor that isn't working. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the background about how well SmartZip actually works, and I think like a lot of the issue with this tech is that agents don't know how to use it. They just think it's going to work when they turn it on, and that's not the case. But when Tristan and I put it through the ringer and run it through the mud and we like really get down and dirty with it, we can tell agents, listen, you're not having success with this, but that's because you're not doing this, 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 and this. Like they want technology to do the job for them, but then at the same time, they don't want technology to do the job for them, right? Like it's a double-edged sword. It's like technology is going to take our jobs, but then you're mad when technology doesn't work, but that's because you're not doing the human element. So with Agentology, it works great. And so for me, the way we do it is the lead comes in, Agentology always makes the first touch. So I have an ISA, but he's also a buyer agent. But what he only focuses on like hand raisers and nurturing. He doesn't make the first touch because Agentology does. And so if Agentology can't make that initial contact, then Kyle, my ISA, will continue the nurture for the long term with the phone calls and the texts and emails over time. So that's his job, is to like see who's most recently active on the site that day and reach out to them, not making first contact because we have other systems that do that.
And this way you also ensure that the quick response that's necessary for these leads is covered by the staff and the technology combined together.
True.
Correct. So we have 5 agents, and so a lot of times they're out showing homes. And so it's actually impossible for them to pick up the phone that moment. So I want to have those systems in place. And those systems don't cost that much. How much is Agentology? Like $300 for 50 leads or something? Like,
yeah,
it's not that much. People think VA, or they think ISA, and they think AI. They think that all these things are costing tens of thousands of dollars. They're really not, you know? So before you write it off, really look into it, because it starts at like $100. You can even get a system for $100 just with like a text responder. You know, it's not that much money.
Yeah, good stuff. Avatar has a question for you guys. I'm not very good with Facebook. Do you recommend any video on YouTube that would teach me about becoming Facebook Ninja? What is your take? How do you learn not to burn through a lot of cash and make Facebook work for you? Where would you start?
Well, so here's the thing with Facebook, and it changes every single day. And if Tristan and I told you that he and I are the Facebook experts and we know every single thing that's changing in Facebook Ads Manager, we'd be lying to you. So, you know, you got to go with somebody. There's a couple things you can do. Just really keep your finger on the pulse every single day, going into Ads Manager and looking at every single teeny tiny update they do, which is not practical. Or you can pay someone whose job it is to do that. You know what I mean? And that, again, doesn't cost that much money. One of the things I love is RelaHQ.com. And they're single property websites, but they have like this built-in, like dumbed down version of Ads Manager. When I say dumbed down, it's very effective, but like it only has the buttons that you really need, right? Who you're targeting. Right. There's so much noise in Ads Manager because Ads Manager is not built for the consumer. It's built for big advertising companies. So when you take out the stuff you need, like who you're targeting, where you're targeting, how old they are, what you're targeting, there's literally only 4 or 5 buttons that you need in order to reach those audiences. And so you can do one of 2 things. Find a product that does that, or hire someone to do it for you, because you're going to waste too much time, money, and energy figuring it out yourself. You just will. So
Yeah, I agree. I think if you want to at least, oops, I disappeared there. If you want to at least keep some pulse in the industry, you can always go to facebook.com/IQ.
another thing
And
is, like, I can't tell you
that's
how many
fun.
times, like, I'll sign into Ads Manager. I'm like, oh my God. So now it's like new feature, make a chat bot, right? And I'm like sucked into the Facebook black hole for 3 hours trying to figure out how to make a chat bot. And like,
That's so
oh my
true.
God, I could pay someone $99 on Fiverr to do it. So
I am always a big fan of learn the basics, understand the basic
Yep.
what this tool can do, whether it's Facebook or something else, and then hand it off if you can. Because your time is not well spent sitting there on the computer for hours at a time, futzing around with 8 variations and click-through rates and CPAs and all that stuff. You're much better
let me
off
tell you what,
people connecting with people or just being with your family.
well, let me tell you what you can do that's really easy to do, right? You can create custom audiences for your database.
Yep.
You can, that's very easy to do. You upload a spreadsheet with names, emails, and phone numbers. That takes just 5 minutes, and then you can create an audience for that. You can create just a target audience for your neighborhood or wherever you want to target normally and save those audiences. And then the next time you want to promote, you just boost it and select that audience and you're done. So that's easy. But I'm talking about like deciding, building a lead ad, building a chat bot, all these new things that are coming out, they're hard to do. And if you screw it up, you're going to waste literally thousands of dollars, and you're not going to get a single lead, and you're going to like think Facebook sucks. And so it's just because you didn't know the right buttons to click. So.
Now, question for both of you. You guys are really busy doing deals, taking listings, speaking, teaching, having families. How in the world do you balance it all out? Learning this new stuff, keeping up what's going on in real estate, serving your clients. How do you budget your time, and how do you stay sane without working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week? How do you pull that off?
My wife's over there. She has a different answer.
Oh, it's so funny. Borino,
Don't take this away from me, Borino. Don't. No, my phone.
I'll answer that. Hold on, and then I'll let you answer.
Okay, you go.
I think for both of us, Borino, our wives are probably what make all of this possible. That's where we start. Because if it wasn't for them allowing us to like be big kids with this whole lab coat agents thing, this wouldn't even be possible, because it does take up a huge portion of our time. I mean, Nick and I are literally always glued to our phones responding to something, whether it's for the team or whether it's lab coats related. And we both have teams. So the second part of that is, if we didn't have our teams, we wouldn't really be able to do all of this. So the combination of both, I think.
What about you, Nick? What's your secret? You have a happy marriage. You have a great.
When Tristan and I aren't texting gifts to each other. No. So here's the thing: we're really running 2 businesses. I mean, it's no secret. Lab Coat Agents is definitely a business, right? And so, like, our passion is teaching agents and showing them, the right, helping them make the right decisions and guiding them on their business and so on and so forth, and showing them new technology that's working and such. But we still have our teams and our agents that need our attention. And so what I have, since I started my own team about 13 or 14 months ago, I've really started, and it's not perfect by any means. Time blocking is hugely important, because, like I said, we've got lab coats, and I've got my family, and I've got my team, and all 3 of those things need my attention. And when they need my attention, it has to be undivided. And I'm not by any means perfect, believe me, I'm not. So it's all about time blocking. So Tuesdays for Tristan and I, we have specific days where, as we try to do almost all lab coats. And then we have specific days where we try to do almost all real estate. And then, of course, when I get home at night at 5:30, I try to be all in with the family. And, look, we're only human, and it obviously doesn't work some of the time. But that's the best advice I can tell you is, like, just be really diligent with your schedule and your time blocking, and don't let your clients, like, dictate when you need to call them or have to call them. And set expectations and make sure that, like, because if you don't set expectations, you're not going to be working efficiently and effectively for them. I've had a few clients that go, how come you only answer your email a few times a day? How come you don't text me back? And it's just like, I physically can't. You know what I mean? Like, if I had my email open all day, I would not get anything done.
That's all you would do. You would just sit on the email all day. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's literally, I wake up with like 100 emails. Like, there has to be turned off or on silent, or else it's going to distract me all day long. And so that's why I do it, right? And so you just got to be real with people, and you have to be real with yourself and tell yourself, like, what's important and what needs to get done, first, second, and third, basically.
And it's also when you work your ass off. You don't fuck around.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Oh, that's true.
and people say, look, I like to come home and binge watch Stranger Things with my wife like anyone else. So, I can't do that. I can't
Not
do
This
that
Is
if
Us.
I'm like,
I thought it was This Is Us.
oh, and This Is Us. But, well, I understand that, like, listen, speaking of This Is Us, I got to go buy some Kleenex. When's that coming back? That is that show, man. If you ever want to see a grown man cry with a kitten in his lap,
Now that would make a good video.
take a picture of me on Tuesday nights. But yeah, so you just listen, I wouldn't be able to sit on the couch at 8 o'clock and watch This Is Us if, like, you didn't, do that for yourself. And listen, when my wife goes to bed earlier than me sometimes, and I'll just jump on the computer and finish up a few things afterwards, like, that's okay. Just, you got to have downtime.
Yeah. What about you, Tristan? How do you keep sane and manage the family, a beautiful family, wife? How do you do that?
Dude, I think my priority has always been my family first. So when you start your day off in a process, just saying, hey, look, this is the most important thing, just repeat it. What are you grateful for? You pray, you do your journal. I think it just focuses your whole day on what is the most important thing. And then from there, everything else gets in the way, right? So at the end of the day, you just refocus and then go back to that. It's just we need a reminder for everything that's important in our lives usually, because if you don't, then you stop focusing on them, and then other things get in the way, and that's where you lose that focus.
Yeah. Question that I get asked a lot, and we all have opinions. Where do you see this industry 5 years from now? What do you think is going to be like the biggest shift? I mean, we see some tremors already. Things are changing, but what's your opinion? Where are we going?
I think the biggest shift is coming with technology. The technology that's coming in, that's barely changing the market, is going to change it in such a drastic way that those agents that are taking advantage of that technology to leverage their time right now more, they're going to be ahead 5 years from now, whether it's through a team or on their own. I think technology is going to shift this whole business so much that if you haven't picked up now or in the next couple of years, it's just going to leave you behind. There's just way too much out there dude, as the millennials become an even bigger portion of the buying power and the boomers become less and less, that market is just shifting right into mainstream. Like, it's just going to be in your face.
So what about you, Nick? What do you think? Where are we in 5 years? How it's going to change?
Personally, I always think there's always going to be a need for realtors and agents, and that's because, buying a home is a very human transaction. It's not like hailing a cab or ordering groceries. People need to know that there's a human being there for them, and there's someone that they can physically see, and have guide through the process. So I really do feel like there's always going to be a place for us. I do think that our job is changing in the sense that, like, we're not we're becoming more of a resource and a place for knowledge and guidance, as opposed to people who, you know, find the perfect home for somebody. Like, you know, most people find the home they buy before their agent does. So we just have to understand that technology is just going to get more in our face. You know, there's going to be more of a need to respond as quickly as you can and have the information ready, and be okay with being like a guide or being a consultant throughout the process. Like, realtors like to compare ourselves to doctors and lawyers all the time, which I think is complete like idiocy, but that's just me, right? Like,
I agree with you.
listen, a doctor goes to school for 7 years to do that stuff. We go to school for 75 hours, right? My barber went to school longer than me to trim my beard. I'm glad. Look how amazing it looks.
It does look good. It's getting there.
Yeah. My point is, be okay with becoming more of a place for information and knowledge, and learn how to leverage technology and communicate with the consumer the way they want you to communicate with them. So,
Oh, that's a big one. Communicate the way they want to be communicated. Can you elaborate on that?
yeah. So last year, the biggest age of home buyers in 2017, according to NAR, was age 32. And why that's important is because they're millennials and they don't want to talk to you on the phone. They like texting. They like looking at pictures. They like email. They like anything that doesn't consist of picking up the phone to their heads. Now, at some point, but they also they'll do that with you once you build trust, and they can build trust with you through text. I've set appointments with people through text. I mean, it's possible. So just embrace that. And once you understand it, you know, I think everyone's going to be fine. We're all still going to have jobs. It's going to change a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything will be fine. Everything is fine. I mean, they're going to be over 5 million homes sold this year.
But there hasn't been a
plenty of business.
decline in homes sold by realtors. Like, there just isn't. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be something to get in our way. There's always going to be a disruptor. So that just is going to make you, you know, just be better at what you're doing and offer more value. That's all.
I want to keep up. I'm an agent who is eager, who is ambitious. I want to make money. I want to provide for my family, serve my clients well. What do I have to do? What would you recommend would be like 3 things I've got to do, practical, specific things I got to do now so that I stay relevant, I stay competitive, and I make money? What would be your suggestions, Tristan?
I think number one, you've got to work on your mindset, because this business is really, really challenging. Some days you're going to be like, you're going to be super high. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got this great lead. I got this listing presentation, and my grandma wants to buy a home. And then the next day is like, oh no, my grandma died and the listing presentation got canceled, and then this other person doesn't want to buy a home. So it goes up and down really, really quickly. And I think you have to find first what keeps you motivated. What is that? Is it reading? Is it exposure to people like Borino to keep that motivation high? What is it exactly? And you have to stay continually on top of that, because if you don't, your mind.
If you don't,
Your
you're gone.
mindset.
That's how it is.
If you don't,
We lost you there for a second.
your
Tristan.
mindset's going to be the one that kicks your ass. And all of a sudden, you're no longer going to be in this business. So that's where I would start mindset first, because that'll get you the confidence that you need. It'll propel you into learning, into taking all the courses you have, man. Those have been great. I think courses after your mindset is right is really important. Maybe a combination of both at the same time. Because a lot of real estate agents think that they're going to come in here and just blow it out of the water. They come in and they realize they don't know shit, right? So you do need direction. You do need that. You do need somebody holding your hand and saying, hey, this is how you do it, because I've done it. This is what works. This didn't. Just follow these steps. And as you're following them, make sure that you keep your mindset strong. That's my advice.
What about you, Nick? What would be like 2 or 3 things you would advise, practical tips for an agent to stay relevant, make money, be successful in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so I would really suggest, putting your face and your name out there as much as possible with really valuable information and content that people care about. So I'm always telling agents, do more video, do more blogs, stay in front of your sphere with valuable information about the neighborhood, be a source of information for people. And that's what people want. They love information. Do things that other people aren't doing, send mailers send mailers to people's homes, do pop buys, stay personal. Because while technology is taking over, there's still that personal touch in real estate that's very important. So I would just, stay in front of your sphere and your database and your farm as much as possible with things that they care about. That's going to definitely keep you relevant.
Very cool. Now, one of the things we wanted to talk to you guys about is you want to stay relevant. You want to know what's working right now. You want to get it straight from people who are doing it all the time, not just some theory that somebody does the rectal extraction. But you should come join us. We have an invitation for you. Nick, you want to tell them what's happening in San Diego?
Sure. So we're doing our third event. It's called Lab Coat Agents Live. Fancy name. But it's going to take place on Coronado Island in San Diego, and it's our third event. So our first event was a little like we were a little group, little Lab Coat Agents group, about 7,000 members, and we were invited to do an event at the headquarters of Commissions Inc. And so there were about 125 people there a few years back. And then in 2016, we did one in Miami. We had about 250 people there, and BORINO was our master of ceremonies.
And had a blast doing it.
And you're awesome.
Yeah. So that was the Ritz-Carlton, Miami. And now, June 26th to the 28th, we're doing it again in San Diego at beautiful Lowe's Coronado. Should I show everyone the website?
Show them. Please.
Yeah, I already put it on there.
Cool. You put the link there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you really know how to pick fancy places. I love that.
It's fancy.
That's what we do.
It's fancy.
BORINO, we want to make it something that makes you feel good,
Yeah.
We hate going to like the Motel 6 and having the Inman event there, which sucks, We don't want to do something like that. we want to go all out,
I hear
here.
That's awesome.
Here we're gonna have Facebook here. I mean, dude, just like last time.
Last time we had Facebook actually came out. They created a really amazing presentation for Lab Coat Agents Live that nobody else ever saw. It was only for us. And it was really amazing, and it was super locked down. Like nobody could take pictures, and they took everyone's phones away. It was that proprietary. But but seriously, like it was a session that was only for Lab Coat. But so we're really heavy on automation, Facebook. We're gonna have Instagram come. We're gonna talk about recruiting, video, getting organic leads with reviews, and it's just a lot of the things that we're talking about. Farming, a lot of things we talked about on this interview, and then a lot of things we talk about in Lab Coat Agents. So it's happening June 26th to the 28th, and this is just, I can show you like a quick little video of what it looked like. Maybe BORINO get a little nostalgic.
That was a good time. Speaking of that Facebook presentation, by the way, a lot of the stuff they were talking about there are happening right now.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot of the stuff that they talked about then
said this is coming. Remember that? Now you see it all happening.
Yeah, they're going to do the same thing this year. Now we have a even stronger relationship with Facebook, so we get to see a lot of the stuff that's coming out before it comes out, which is really nice.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff they talked about, like lead ads, was kind of brand new back then. So there's a lot of really great new stuff they're working on.
Yeah, the video, remember how he was talking about how Facebook's going to push video? They completely killed YouTube. YouTube, you cannot even play on Facebook anymore. It's all just goes out.
That happened way faster than I thought.
Yeah.
Let's look at where we're having it. Lowe's Coronado. And it's super beautiful. Look at that.
Is that your room there, minute.
Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this place. Who doesn't want to go there?
Borino's going to
That
be
is nice.
swimming right there
With a champagne glass in my hand.
with a champagne. That's right.
That's going to be fun.
We're gonna
So
have a
come on,
networking
guys,
event.
rock stars, this is an invitation for you to hang out in a cool place, hang out with people who are doing stuff, getting information not just from somebody who heard it in some seminar or read it somewhere online, but from people who are the company, Facebook, Instagram. You will be exposed to agents who are out there using the systems, using the tools. It'll be opportunity for you to network, to learn, to hang out with us, to party, to learn and explore, because just like Nick and Tristan were saying, if you don't keep up, you're done. It's over. And it's happening so fast that I understand that many of you feel very overwhelmed and confused. And there is this new shiny object and that new shiny object. So to have an opportunity to spend 3 days like this, to network and learn, and to actually see not only what works, but how it works and how to get it, is a great opportunity to grow your business, have that peace of mind you're looking for, and be a rockstar agent. So it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
Well, I have two things I want to say.
Holy
One,
cow, you're kidding me? That's the right price?
yeah. So
Yeah,
check
we-
That's not a
We
type.
hit the price. We were at 600 before, but this time
Wow.
we cut the price in.
But
a little
check
bit more
this
than
out.
half.
Not only is early bird only $249, but you can have 3 installments of $83, which a lot of people are opting to do. If you want to bring your team or your brokerage and you buy 10 or more tickets, the tickets drop down to $199 per ticket, so you save $50.
Wow.
And so that's pretty awesome. So go to lcalive2018.com and get your early bird. And there's also something else that
What is it?
that I want to ask, that we want to ask Borino if
Oh,
he
yeah.
if he would be our MC again.
No,
of
dude.
course.
Seriously. Done. Yes, would love to. We
So
had a
save
great
those
time.
dates, bro. Last time you were the best MC ever.
I enjoyed
Great.
it immensely. And you know why?
great.
Because you hang out with the same caliber of people. You know how they say you become who you hang out with, whether it's your friend or family? I enjoy hanging out with people who are the movers and shakers, who are out there, who are willing to say, I'm going to learn what it takes, I'm going to get the tools I need, and I'm willing to go the extra mile to be the rockstar agent I want to be. Fuck this like deal here and there, little listing here and there. This is, and you can succeed. You can think about it. 5.4 million homes sold this year, give or take. Tons of opportunities, but you got to stay on the cutting edge or you're going to get run over by the younger, hungrier, eager agents who are willing to do what it takes to succeed. Learn the tools, manage the tools, and be successful. And you can be too. Every single one of you rock stars. That's exciting. Thanks for the invitation. I am
Your new title is Borino, your MC.
That's a good title, dude.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Borino was fun. He was cursing and all the good
What's up,
stuff.
dude? You had such great energy. We loved it, man.
We had a good time. And
And
people.
by the way, just want everyone to know we're working on getting some really big keynote speakers. So just be on the lookout for who those are going to be in the next couple weeks.
Nice. And I will teach you guys how to do cool real estate videos with your iPhone. That's one of the
Yes.
classes.
Yeah, that's a great class. Do that for
I'll
sure.
be happy to do that. Yeah. So bring your iPhones. We'll crank out some videos right there in the class.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks,
Todd is
man.
coming. Looking forward to San Diego in June, networking with all of you. Excellent.
Todd, you're the man, buddy.
Yeah. Good to have you guys. We'll have a good time. We'll have some cool offers and lots of good information and just fun. It's just fun to be with like-minded people with all this negativity and noise and politics and all that bullshit going on these days. It's just nice to finally immerse yourself with a group who is on the same page and who wants the same things you want. Awesome. All right, you guys, good times today. So go ahead and sign up. Go to lcalive2018.com.
LCALive2018.com.
lcalive2018.com. Join us. I'll be there. We'd love to hang out with you. We'll have a drink some good tequila, which is my favorite down in Cali.
Dude,
Nice.
wait, you like tequila? What kind of tequila do you like?
Yeah, my favorite is Cabo Wabo.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All
We'll call drunk dial some expireds. It'll be great.
There you go.
That'll
That'd
be
be
fun.
awesome. All right, guys. Anything else you want to throw in before we wrap this up?
No, I'm good, man.
Drunk dial expireds. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that video sequence? That'd make a great new show. Drunk dialing expireds with Borino.
Oh,
Either
dude.
That would be great.
Talk
I'm
about
happy
comedy
you get a
reality.
listing appointment. If you get a listing appointment drinking a margarita, you're like the champ.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
One day
That's
I'll tell you
hilarious.
stories, guys. We'll share stories in San Diego.
We will.
All
That's
right.
hilarious.
Well, please join me.
Right.
Thank you, Tristan. Thank you, Nick. You guys super busy, and yet you took time to share all this cool information. If you're
We
not a
love
member,
you,
join
dude.
the Lab Codes agents. If you haven't signed up, come join us in San Diego. Thanks for being here today, Rockstars. Coach Borino signing off. You guys have been awesome, sharing some really cool stuff. Thanks for all the questions, and I'll see you all next Tuesday. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.